Okay, this is here to meet a mate at the Alhambra 3, 4, I've lost count now. The Alhambra, for those people that don't know what it is the seminal Moorish, African, Berber piece of architecture in the whole of Spain. This is a piece of architecture from when the Islamic, Moorish, Berber, Africans ruled Spain. It's extremely famous, very, very famous, very, very pretty. People confuse it, they think it's in the middle of Granada. It isn't. It's about a 15-minute drive to the outskirts of Granada. There's only one downside with it, and I don't mean to be rude. It's absolutely ram-packed with bloody tourists. You need to get here. You need to get here early in the morning or last thing at night. Unfortunately, I'm here for a business meeting with an old friend, an old girlfriend. It's 11:15. We're going to have a little bit of lunch. We're going to chew the fat. And we're going to try and work out why she's not selling property. Part of my job at H&G, which people mistake actually, is I'm a qualified lawyer. I got my law degree at 40, graduated in 2007, and did a couple of 3 years training with Roberts & Co in Sheffield, and Ham Morgan Owen in Stafford. Having had a glorious career with some very, very big companies around the world. HFC Sendon being one of them. But as a training manager and a training director for some international companies, I used to teach people how to close business. It was my thing. It's still my thing. I can close. I'm very good at it. So when old friends, especially old girlfriends, are struggling, I've got a thing about pretty girls. When they're struggling to close business, they normally call me. And there's always a reason for it. Always, always, always a reason for it. So we're going to have a quick wander, take a bit of video footage, for the website. Meet the young lady for lunch, see what the problem is. Not difficult to see why they built it where they built it, is it? The Moors like to bath, they like to be clean. And of course it's part of their religion, they need to bathe and bath. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, there's always a reason for it. So let's find out what it is, let's find out why she's struggling to sell property. Because it's never the amount of them, it's never the amount. The value of the property is what it is. Always has been, always will be. It's never the value of the property that is the problem, ever. Sometimes it's the conditions of sale that stop people from buying. Let me give you an example. I've got a 10-bedroom villa in the middle of Granada. I want €3 million for it. And I've got a couple of people interested. And if I said to the majority of people, this is a beautiful villa, and I've shown them round, and I spent a couple of days with them, and then on the third day I asked them for €3 million for that villa in Awana. Most people are going to balk. They're going to look at me as if I've just got off a banana boat. Don't get me wrong, there are people out there, especially the Arabs, pun not intended, considering where we are, will stick their hand in their pocket and bank transfer you €2 or $3 million euros within 7 days because they've got an awful lot of money. They just pump black gold out of the ground and roam around the world in their yachts and their private jets and their big fancy sports cars and turn up to North London and go to Harrods for 3 months of the year, and of course they've got a shed load of money. But your average person isn't going to pull €3 million out of his pocket, so the condition of sale is important. However, most people can afford a mortgage, and even though it's going to be a big mortgage, that is what they're expecting you to hit them with. I want £100,000 deposit or £300,000 deposit, and then your mortgage is X. Would you like me to set your mortgage up here, or would you like to set it up yourself? So it's never the value of the property. It is always either the condition of sale or a personal thing. The client doesn't like you, or the client doesn't trust you, or both, or either or. But at the end of the day, that's just a question, isn't it? Isn't it? Is it me? That is the question. And if you've got a good relationship with your clients, then it shouldn't be a difficult question. And as long as you ask the question respectfully and professionally, the answer will usually out. However, for certain people, especially if they are personable, people-pleasing type of personality, it can be difficult. Some people are way too personable for their own good. And at the end of the day, it is about closing business, or it used to be when I first started, because when I first started, it was commission only. You didn't sell, you didn't eat. And if you couldn't eat, it was a hop, skip and a jump back to the airport to get back on a plane, depending on where you were, to go home to do something less stressful. Do I think we're missing that in the industry nowadays? Yes, I do. I think there's way too many people filing their nails and mincing around the office pretending to be busy and not bringing in business. That doesn't happen at H&G. You either bring in business or collect your P45 at the door, because we're all about closing business. So let's go and find this young lady, try and get her sorted out. remember the last time I was here. It's really, really, really nice. I'm not big on the tourists. I'm not big on... No, that's wrong. I haven't got a problem with tourists. I just don't like being in the middle of very, very noisy, loud, bustling crowds of people. That's the ex-military PTSD part of me that sometimes gets extremely hyper-vigilant around big groups of people. There you go, we've all got a crosses to bear. You know something? The tour around the outside is actually far nicer and far prettier than the tour of the Alhambra on the inside. The views of the Alhambra from the outside are far nicer than the views of built up modern day Granada from the inside of the Alhambra. It's a far nicer experience being on the outside. So let's go and grab some lunch. Let's go and find out why she's not making herself six figures, because it's not difficult to do. Trust me, it's not difficult to do. You only need to do your job, and a six-figure seller in our industry is extremely achievable. So let's go and find out what's on her mind. The Alhambra, Granada.